Hey guys, it's Captain Forest here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over both these combatants to see who would win more often not in an inverse situation, Larfleeze versus Reverse Flash. Now if you guys are new to my channel, please leave a like, comment down below, and of course subscribe for further content. Also, shout out to the Cough Shop gang, they make awesome content. Their links will be in the description. Also shouts to HQ Squad, shouts to my boy Slick. Me and him definitely went ham in this matchup. We definitely spoke about who would win more often than not. But yeah, he also helped me in this video as well, so much appreciate to the GOAT himself. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, go over Larfleeze to see what he brings to the table. Larfleeze has some pretty good feats. For the starters, Larfleeze was able to two-shot Atrocitus. Larfleeze was able to contend with Hal Jordan. He's been able to smash up Krona, who was amped with the emotional spectrum. Larfleeze has defeated Invictus, who was amped by all the fallen angels. Larfleeze is built too strong. He overwhelms the guardians of the universe multiple times and has also killed manhunters too. Another feat that comes to mind is when Larfleeze overwhelmed Hal Jordan when he was amped by the Blue Lantern ring and chops his arm off. Insane. Another cool feat was when Larfleeze went at it and fought Kyle Rayner, who was amped by the emotional spectrum. If you really thought that this was the extent of Larfleeze, then you ain't seen nothing yet. Larfleeze literally beats all of the House of Tuadon, including Zoom, of all things, who is one with the Anakara essence, which binds all of creation. The Guardians note that his power is as threatening as Parallax. John doesn't feel confident about fighting Larfleeze, even though he had help from multiple green and yellow lanterns. White Lantern Kyle and the Guardians even state and tell Kyle and Hal not to underestimate him and that they should have a plan before engaging Larfleeze. This is insane. They literally need so much backup just to deal with this greedy bastard, literally. John can't even get out of the restraints of Larfleeze's constructs. Larfleeze's constructs alone put in a lot of work. His constructs go in and completely defeat Odin and all of his Blue Lanterns, whilst Larfleeze was literally chilling and watching from the sidelines. So he literally grabbed his Orange Lantern and started watching the whole massacre like he was watching Netflix. Crazy. And lastly, Larfleeze can amp his power to 7,839% to even 100,000%. So that's going to conclude Larfleeze's attack potency feats. I'll cover speed briefly. So we've seen Larfleeze casually being able to react to Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan has some impressive speed feats, such as flying to the future without his lantern, and he can travel a timeless, distanceless barrier in an instant. So that's going to round up speed. Let's cover some of Larfleeze's hacks, abilities, resistances, and all that good stuff. So Larfleeze's ring has a very powerful and special hack behind it. When he kills or corrupts a person, that said person gets forcefully added to his corpse under his full command, such as the time where he killed a Green Lantern and added it to his corpse. He was able to corrupt Bloom and add him to his corpse. Oh, and this ability also works on machines too, such as the time when he ripped into a Brainiac bot and added it to his corpse, which is very impressive. So this even works on like inorganic and organic substances alike, which is very impressive. So he can pretty much snag anyone on his team. He's also shown to recharge his constructs, such as the time where he was able to recharge a Brainiac robot. Larfleeze can absorb Green Lantern constructs that were made by Guardians and Magic. Larfleeze can overwhelm his opponents with multiple constructs and also possessed hosts. Larfleeze can also create his own constructs too, such as using his willpower with his chain construct he used on Zoom. He can make multiple power rings. He can create a giant mace construct. He can create spikes around his fist like Wolverine. He can use his own lantern as a weapon and also blast concussive energy and summon his constructs. And just like any other lantern user, he can create barriers and project energy. Larfleeze knows everything his constructs know after he takes possession of them, giving him some type of clairvoyance and information analysis. Larfleeze can create fairly advanced tech and constructs, such as monitoring and being able to watch all news outlets and keys into specific words and alerts him to those things, which is very impressive. Larfleeze can also seal you inside his lantern, such as the time he sealed Ophiodon in his lantern. Ophiodon is the embodiment of avarice, the emotional concept of greed, so Larfleeze can even seal conceptual beings inside his lantern. Larfleeze can also track energy and teleport. Larfleeze's body and cellular structures is completely covered with orange energy, and he's pretty much essentially a living power battery. So that's going to round up Larfleeze's hexes and all that good stuff. I'm going to talk about some of his resistances. So Larfleeze has really good mental defenses. His mind alone was able to overwhelm Digree. Volthoom can't manipulate Larfleeze's emotions. Larfleeze was able to resist the Indigo Lantern, looking into his soul for a bit. And lastly, he has regenerative abilities, such as Larfleeze being able to regenerate after completely being consumed and eaten. Okay, that's going to round up Larfleeze. I'm going to go ahead and go Reverse Flash to see what he brings to the table. Reverse Flash has demonstrated some really impressive AP showings. We've seen Reverse Flash blitz the Justice League and physically bombard them with attacks. He has hurt Superman and Wonder Woman. Reverse Flash should be relative and should scale to Barry and Wally West, as Reverse Flash has demonstrated to physically harm and blitz Barry and Wally on a good few occasions in Post-Crisis. Now, I go over the cosmology of the AP scaling in most of my other videos, so please check that out. Now for speed, Reverse Flash should easily have irrelevant speed. He can move through multiple temporal dimensions. Reverse Flash has blitzed Superman. This same Superman is able to keep up with the other Flashes in the attempts to chase down Reverse Flash, who was blitzing them. We've seen the likes of Wally West travel to the 853rd century. Reverse Flash is able to tag Wally West. Another impressive feat as well, Superman himself was able to move inside the source, which is directionless, and Reverse Flash should easily scale to that too. He's been able to tag this same Superman and blitz him, and as mentioned before, Reverse Flash should scale to Barry in terms of speed and AP. It's also been demonstrated by Barry that he's able to blitz Hal Jordan, and Hal Jordan himself has demonstrated impressive speed showings of his own, such as flying to the future without his lantern, and he's also demonstrated to travel a timeless, distanceless barrier in an instant. So the speed scaling is very concrete and consistent for Reverse Flash. Now let's move on and go into some of Reverse Flash's hexes and other abilities that he possesses. Just like all the speedsters in DC, Reverse Flash shares many abilities, such as the ability to steal the kinetic energy from his opponents, rendering them completely immobile. He can create after images, make himself become intangible, and phase through objects and people to cause them internal damage to their organs or pass through their attacks. He can erase you from existence and can perform hexes, such as traveling back into the past and killing you as a baby. He can BFR you and leave you in a dimension, and he can also travel back very far into the past and leave you there. It's been demonstrated by Reverse Flash that he can time travel to the 25th century, and even other speedsters are very capable of performing such feats, such as Wally West himself, who's able to travel to the 853rd century, and Reverse Flash can also BFR you into the negative speed force, which is an altiversal realm. Moving on, Reverse Flash has a causality type 2. He is extremely hard to put down, as Reverse Flash is literally outside of history. So every time he dies, he will just simply come back. No matter how many times he dies, Reverse Flash is always reborn. So that's going to conclude both these combatants. I'm going to go ahead, give my verdict, talk about some things and how this fight could go out. So in terms of like physical AP, I think they're pretty relative. They've got some good AP scaling. In terms of speed, I do lean a little bit more so with Reverse Flash, just the speedsters in DC just have better speed feats. They're just inherently a little bit faster than some of the characters. It's just always been like that. So I think Reverse Flash going into this fight does have the speed edge. Now, in terms of like win cons and all that good stuff, now Larfleeze, his corruption could be an issue. He could corrupt Reverse Flash if he's able to tag him or kill him. That could be an issue. However, Reverse Flash does have some other utilities, you know, in this fight. He definitely has his speed stealing, he has his BFR tactics, and some other gadgets and gizmos he could perform, and just any type of loopholes and any type of hacks he could play in this fight. Now, looking into this, Larfleeze, he definitely has his army of other lanterns and other creatures and other like vessels that he's captured over his time, like fighting multiple, you know, herds of enemies. So he could use that to his advantage in this fight. He could summon a bunch of them, so range could be a good advantage for him, especially with his constructs too. That could also try to impede Reverse Flash, maybe overwhelm him. However, I don't think that's necessarily going to be a huge issue. I think Reverse Flash, thanks to his superior speed, I think he's going to blitz a lot of the like constructs. He's going to blitz a lot of the corrupted like members of his corps. He'll just blitz a lot of them, so I don't think range will be pretty much an issue, since none of them will be fast enough to touch him. Because of the speed edge, I definitely see Reverse Flash abusing a lot of his hexes, especially going and BFRing Larfleeze to the negative speed force, which could be an issue. You could possibly make arguments that Larfleeze would be able to break out, but I'm not 100% sure if he can. So that also could be a good win con for Reverse Flash. Also, BFRing Larfleeze many times into the century, like, you know, just BFRing like centuries into the past, that could be an issue. Like coming back, you know, standard battle assumptions, you know, if Larfleeze doesn't get back onto the battlefield in time, that could be a L for him, and that could be a W for Reverse Flash. Speed stealing, I honestly see speed stealing being a very deadly win con as well for Reverse Flash, especially if he does steal Larfleeze's speed. Larfleeze will not be able to move. He'll be completely immobilized, and it's also been shown other speedsters like Barry, he's been able to like phase through constructs. Reverse Flash could literally just do the same as well. He could just like phase through the energy barriers, the constructs themselves, and get to Larfleeze pretty easy and use speed stealing. But more often not, I just have to lean a little bit more so Reverse Flash. I think his hexes help him a lot in the fight, especially since the speed stealing, the superior speed. He'd get around a lot of those, like a lot of the constructs. He'd get around a lot of Larfleeze's army, so he just blitz around them. I don't think he'd be fast enough to tag him to get the corruption off, and plus Reverse Flash does have his A causality, so it's incredibly difficult to get rid of or kill Reverse Flash. He'll just keep coming back, and I just see like more of like Reverse Flash's hexes and abilities happening more often not than like Larfleeze's. So more often not, I would have to personally give victory to Reverse Flash. But thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But yeah, it's been real. See you guys in the next one.